Are all men the same? Science has an answer, and it might actually surprise you. No emotions, no opinions, just raw data. Let's break down the psychology, biology, and behavior of over 4 billion men and find out just how similar they truly are. First, what do people mean when they say all men are the same? Usually it's about behavior, dating patterns, emotions, reaction to pressure, but science looks deeper. Are men wired the same? Do they act the same under stress? Do they want the same things? Scientifically, 95% of men share a very similar hormone blueprint. High testosterone, lower oxytocin, and different amygdala responses compared to women. What does this mean? Well, most men have stronger fight or flight reactions, more competitive behavior, and struggles more with emotional expression. Not because they chose to, but because their biology makes it harder. Across cultures, studies have shown more than 80% of men report valuing independence, physical attraction in partners, and status more than emotional connection. It doesn't mean all men are heartless. It means evolution trained them to prioritize survival traits. According to a study conducted in Harvard, 82% of men said they find it harder to cry even when they feel overwhelmed. But wait, is that all men? Here's where it gets interesting. Despite those major trends, about 10 to 15% of men have hormone balances closer to what's considered typical for women. This group tends to be more emotionally expressive, empathetic, and relationship focused. So yes, most men follow the same pattern, but not all. So, are all men the same? According to biological and behavioral studies, about 85 to 90% of men follow the same psychological and hormonal patterns. The phrase, all men are the same, isn't entirely wrong. It's just not 100% right either. They're similar, but not identical. But what about women? Are they just as similar to each other? Or even more different? Part 2 is where it gets wild, because the science behind female psychology might change everything you think you know. Are all women the same? Straight facts, science-backed, same pacing, and a clean conclusion that wraps up both parts. The biological baseline. Let's start with biology. Around 90% of women share a near identical hormone structure. High estrogen, higher oxytocin, and stronger activity in brain areas tied to empathy and memory. This means most women are biologically wired to feel deeper social connection, remember emotionally charged events more clearly, and process communication differently. Behavioral similarities. Across global studies, over 75% of women consistently prioritize emotional intimacy, security, and communication in relationships. They also tend to avoid conflict more than men and score higher in agreeableness on the Big 5 personality scale. According to the Global Gender Psychology Survey, 76% of women reported empathy as a core strength. So when someone says women always want emotional connection, that's not random. That's behavior shaped both by biology and social learning. Now, are there outliers? Yes, and this is where it gets interesting. Roughly 10 to 15% of women show patterns typically associated with male traits, lower empathy scores, higher interest in competition, even hormonal balances closer to the male average. They are not less feminine, just different. More assertive, more individualistic, and emotionally compromised. For example, female CEOs, combat sport athletes, high-performing entrepreneurs. Social programming. Here's the twist. Women are more influenced by social and cultural pressure than men, according to sociological data. This means their behavior often adapts based on environment, leading to illusions of more variety. but remove cultural layers and you'll find the core emotional and cognitive patterns are strikingly similar in most women. Biologically, about 85 to 90% of women function on the same psychological and hormonal blueprint. And when it comes to behavior, most lean towards nurturing, communication, and empathy, not by choice, but by design. So yes, just like men, most women are more similar than different. If you watched both parts, here's the real answer. Most men are the same. Most women are the same. But men and women are not the same. Different tools, different software, same humanity. And within those similarities, there are always a few wild cards. Maybe you're one of them. If this changed how you see people, hit like, share and subscribe and let the data speak. Human emotions are weak. Where human emotions fail, science wins. Science is always the answer. Keep on playing the life simulator and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Bye for now.